And you're welcome to stay on if you'd like to listen to the next presentation. Just mute yourself, and we'll be sending you the recording.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
And now we have Mr. Shin from Zenerate. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that's right. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome.
I'm Benji. Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Good
you.
morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's 9 a.m., 9:30 here in Korea.
Yeah.
So may I start share my deck and
Yeah, please
submit
share it.
presentation? Yeah,
And then we'll have you present. You have 7 minutes.
okay. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm Benji, a CEO of Zenerate, and we provide AI feasibility solutions for real estate development. So the real estate development is one of the most profitable businesses. However, the real estate developers are losing opportunities to gain more returns because of their primitive feasibility study method. Zenerate brings in artificial intelligence to maximize development profits. We were incorporated early 2020, both in South Korea and Delaware, USA. So let me go straight into a case study. It is a USC student housing project in LA and was our first real application case in 2019 before we incorporated. Here, we increased the rent revenue by $1 million and added 44 beds. In the beginning, USC wanted to maximize the number of beds as well as to make sure to generate enough rent revenue, but they had no clue about how to find the ideal mix of 10 plus unit types, where each type has different number of tenants and rent price. So we generated 15,000 unit mix and layout options and found the most optimized solution that fit their needs. This graph shows the result of 15,000 options in points. So x-axis represents the rent revenue and y-axis represent the number of beds. 752 beds on the bottom left was from the original design by the architect. We found the largest bed count we could get in this given building layout was 820 beds, as you see on the top. However, it only generated $750,000 per month, while you can see 796 beds on the far right, generating more revenue, which is over $920,000 per month. So 24 beds less would result in higher revenue. This happens because 10 plus unit types, as you saw in the previous slide, have different rent prices. So the revenue depends on how these unit types are mixed. Like USC project, we've done more than 40 plus multifamily housing and mixed use projects so far, and have increased an additional 28% development profit on average compared to the original human-made plans. This has been possible since we resolved the issues that have never been addressed in this industry. Why are they not able to maximize profits? First, they only review 3 to 5 options for a site, so thousands of other possibilities are just never explored. Second, they apply flat rates for revenue estimation. However, we all know that rent prices are diverse within a building, so not being able to apply a realistic or differential pricings result in incorrect revenue estimation. Here's how we resolve. By using algorithms, we can generate thousands of development scenarios and find the most profitable one. And also, our AI model can accurately estimate the price of each space by learning apartment floor plans and rent price data. This means that it can estimate how much rent needs to be increased when you move from an apartment unit on the first floor to one at the top floor. We have developed a couple of products. Zenerate app automatically generates solutions on a given site. By just clicking a few buttons, users can easily generate up to 10,000 options within 30 minutes. The rent price and project cost data are fed in, so users can select a solution by looking at financials. Additionally, we have created a sort of Google Maps for real estate development. Z-Maps shows all the latest developments in planning, construction, and operation. The data is mainly from government sources, And ZMaps helps developers find comparables and get insights. For instance, by looking at a recently completed project, they can find out how long it took to go through permitting and construction processes and how much revenue it now generates. The feasibility study market includes the buildings that don't ever get built as well. In other words, to really execute a single project, developers typically conduct feasibility studies for 100+ sites. The global market for multifamily housing is $71 billion. We're focusing on $5.8 billion US market, and our goal is to generate $290 million that accounts for a 5% market share in the next 5 years. Many startups have emerged internationally in this field. They either provide automated design solutions or manual design tools. Their drawings could be very conceptual to detail. There are 2 direct competitors in the US, but no companies except us right now in the world have solutions for profit maximization. Our future main business model would be software as a service. We plan to offer 4 subscription plans. The current rates from similar startups range from $500 to $4,500 per month. We have 3 co-founders. My role as an architect is to define and turn architecture problems into algorithmic ones. Then Jamie resolves that as a mathematician and AI developer. Park is in charge of our software development with the background in computer science and architecture design. We are a team of 20, including AI developers, real estate developers, software engineers, and computational designers. Since started, we provided consulting services so far to prestigious firms in Korea mostly, and have had a plan to launch products for the US market. We closed pre-A fundraising 3 months ago with over $4.3 million. We were going to launch a couple products early next year. Generate is changing the way how we develop properties. Thank you for listening.
Very impressive. So I mean, the team of 3 is unheard of. I mean, boy, wow, this is very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. The background you all have. You went to the best university there is, either in Korea or East Coast or West Coast. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Very, and very complimentary too. I mean, the
Thank you.
Super strong, and I'm sure that if you got you said $4 million, you raised $4 million.
Yeah, 4.3.
Okay, who did you raise this from?
So we all are all of our investors in Korea. So 4 to 5 are actually just straight VCs, and the other 4 are actually the VC under real estate developers or investors in Korea.
Got it. So they're going to be also your customers, right?
So since we're not actually, providing a SaaS service in Korea, we started in Korea because when we started, it was the beginning of the COVID in the US. But as you may know, Korea was actually just working normally. So I had to go back to Korea to start fundraising and also to start our business. We've provided consulting services to mostly Korean firms, and now we're trying to shift our market from Korea to US. So we're only working with a couple developers, and now we're trying to sell our consulting service first in the US for the next step of an enterprise SaaS.
This is when you lose me, because I mean, it's counterintuitive, because you guys are a very global team. You have global DNA, that's for sure, right?
Right.
COVID got in the way. So you have investors that are Korean. I mean, you could do a killing in Korea, and you say, no, yeah, we're going to do the US. So it's kind of counterintuitive, right? I mean, the rate of penetration you could have to amass, return and get lots of references before you jump over to the US is incredible, much easier than going to the US, unless you want to relocate to the US. So I'm confused here.
Yeah, so we thought about these a lot. So like you said, that could be one strategy. Just do a lot, do really good business in Korea first, and then move to US could be a strategy. But then when we raise fund, we always said that we're gonna do our business in the US. That was our initial goal. Yeah, that's how we could actually get
You're greedy. You know you can raise a lot of money. You're greedy. You want to go where the money is. Huh?
Yeah. I mean,
got
I mean, we want to grow faster. I mean, and then
you.
also, I don't actually have any, practical experience in Korea at all. I only practiced in the US for 7 years. And then that's why I actually wanted to just do business in the States because that's the market I know. And then that's a lot bigger.
Okay, so you're how do you say, you're inhabiting a different person than you are, right? Because people will look at you as and so you're looking at the U.S. market from the U.S. market perspective, right? Not
Right.
Korea, right? Okay.
Right.
Wow, this is
Correct.
interesting. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll let my colleague make comments of this on this. Thierry, you wanna?
Yeah, I actually love it. This is great.
And by the way, Thierry is a specialist of pricing. He's gotta love that, I'm sure.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. He's got a practice.
So-
I mean, it's very impressive. He built this over the years, and that's why I was looking at it and say, "Oh, he's gonna love it." Yeah, pricing.
And you have so the reason why I like it so much is that there is such a clear expression of value and benefit. I love the chart where you, for the USC use case, where you have the 3 points between what the architect did, the maximum number of bed, and the counterintuitive idea that you can have less bed and more revenue.
Yeah.
You know, I understand that, but it's a little bit counterintuitive. So I think just with a couple of these initial slides, this is like the sales pretty much done. Like if I'm a builder, of course, if there's a competitor that's doing the same thing, but if your thing is unique, like I can't. Once I see that, I cannot unsee it, and I just have to buy it. So I think in terms of the pitch, the beginning is a little bit long because you're actually saying several times the same thing. So I would recommend to shorten a little bit the. You're still keeping that great chart. You're still keeping probably half of it, like the images that moves when you see all the options that are tested. But I think you can shrink this to about half the time, which would be good, and that would let you spend a little bit more time on the other parts. The pricing slide, you went so fast, I couldn't go through it, and that was my most important slide for me.
Got it.
So I would love to have more kind of. You can do a lot more things with this. I'm actually wondering if you can think about a pricing where you directly monetize the value, right? If I'm doing a building that's like 80-story high, or if I'm doing a building that's 10-story high, they ought to pay a different right. So we can take this offline if you're interested. I would
Yes, of course.
To do that. But it's very, very, very compelling. There is a missing slide at the end. I'm not sure what you're asking for because you already raised 4 million.
Oh yeah.
Where is the ask slide?
Yeah, we're sorry, I actually forgot to put it. So we were looking for partnerships in the US who can help us making connections and help us find customers. So we're not looking into raise funding at this moment, but we're going to do it probably in one or 1.5 year.
There's a company that is the largest real estate developer, or actually it's an intermediary. It's called CBRE. Do you know these people?
Of course, yes, of course. But I don't have any connections yet.
Oh no, I mean the three of us can connect you with almost everybody here in Silicon Valley. So I'm sure there are other people, but CBRE is definitely a target because they broker, all kinds of people that they manage entire campuses, like they manage the Facebook campus here, the Google campus.
Right.
So, and they're in California right here. So you're going to be in Los Angeles. So Los
Yeah.
Angeles, there is the, what is the name of the city that is almost an incorporated city, born out of a private interest, south of Los Angeles?
Industrial
Gateway.
city,
I'm sorry?
industrial city,
No. It's almost a
Irvine.
county. Irvine.
Irvine.
Irvine
okay.
Company, yeah.
Unbelievable. You'd have, they are next door to where you're going to be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Knock these guys out because they have a huge real estate asset, and also they're very planned people. They have all kinds of properties. They love it, definitely. So,
Got it.
so it's not clear that you have the business aspect of it, though. You have it from the how to make money, right? But you may not have it from the perspective of targeting the market. I don't know who the customer is. I didn't see a target list. I didn't. So that since you're pretty much, you know the area here, that you should get somebody who knows real estate inside out, or have a broker, or I don't know, somebody who, on a sales side.
Right.
Definitely,
Correct. Correct, yeah.
To prep it up, and not only sales, but also business strategy, how to go fast and dominate the industry, or at least that particular segment of the industry. Fast, so that you can go into either acquisition mode or why not IPO, or you can actually move your platform to other markets where there are imperfect, or there's an arbitrage to be made, right? This is real
Got it.
estate, but with the type of skill that you guys have, looking at the skill slide, I mean, you're incredible. You can modify, you can get into any market that is not where there is no arbitrage, and create that stuff. Right.
Yeah, and I think you did a good American style presentation. So I hate to give you any criticism. It's more like, how could we make you, when you're
Please do.
strong, and even stronger? And so this is just my opinion. I really like the bed, analogy you showed, but then I wasn't sure if I could connect the dots and say, was this equally impactful for people that do warehousing and logistics space, right? Where do I need to rezone my space often and reconfigure it? So maybe I only have to build the building once when I do it. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like you're bringing in physical CAD models and have the understanding of physical objects. And I would call this kind of a multivariant approach, where you're saying, I have constraints, but I'm also understanding the physics. So to me, like a pro logistics, Prologis.
Yeah.
They seem, you might say, well, that's our low hanging fruit. We think we can do a lot for, dormitories and multifamily, but maybe our early market entry is to get a big customer like Prologis. I think they have more real estate under management than the state of Rhode Island, if I'm not mistaken. I was thinking that you were showing me brute force, just doing model, option after option after option. And I don't think that's really what you're doing if you are doing the multivariant. So I think that maybe you could just address that and say, well, we're really unique because we can take in all these different variables, right? We're not just running model after model to see it. So I'm more curious than the critique of how do you integrate with floor plans and CAD models, and do you not have a digital twin business here?
We don't have a digital twin business yet. I mean, we're definitely thinking of it, but I think it's going to be our long-term goal. I would say this is very different business model. Digital twin would be really different. It's more related to the after construction business, while we're actually focusing on the feasibility, like pre-acquisition phase or post-acquisition. And and also
in the US, that's a big buzzword right now. We all like the digital twins and the multiverse, and one could say that you're doing what's going to become the as-built, and that becomes generated downstream towards a digital twin and a building management system or whatever. So if you don't have it, you could say that's the future, but that would excite me if I was in the audience, hearing that you have these big aspirations to be a feeder of digital twin data. Not you're going to own the model, but you would
got it.
Perfect position to be the pump company that feeds that data into a building management system upon completion or something. It just seems like an obvious additional.
Put it in, yeah, right.
Of course, of
I
course.
would
So
partner with somebody else to do that and maybe merge or acquire a company or something like that, because you have such a crisp value. I actually wouldn't want to dilute that value
Yeah,
into other stuff. So, but you can, like in 2 years, you're going to make so much money, you can acquire a company or merge with a company that's doing a digital twin, and I think it's a better option.
but are you taking in CAD data to do these models?
So the way how we generate options is we're just actually doing everything within Python, and then we can actually speed out as a CAD file. So how we do is we in the architecture field we call this as generative design. So generative design is a concept, and it means like generate designs with algorithms. So basically we code everything like all the geometrical stuff. So let's say we can actually just define a rectangle, and then as it grows, we sort of manage to infill the interior layout and all that, furniture layout and all that. So that's how we call a generative design or a parametric design. So we coded that in Python, and then it will generate a lot of layouts. Then our AI model comes in to estimate accurately every single apartment unit based on the learning from the rent price data and floor plans.
You know where you can make money, a lot of money, is ship design, high end or big cruisers. Because
Yeah.
real estate in a ship is to the millimeter. I mean, it's so precise, right? And you can make a killing there.
We're definitely interested, but I have no connections yet, so we'll definitely look into it.
No, but you have people that, I mean, you just need to, I mean, with what you got, it's big enough that people will listen to you. Just take the list of big people. And by the way, I don't know if Korea builds cruise ships as much as they do in Europe, but you tend to build more kind of cargo ships, right? In Korea, in your
I believe so. Korea is one of the
Yeah.
largest, I guess.
Yeah, so it's cargo, but I think in Europe, the German are the big builders of big ships. So the French, the Spaniard, the Greeks, the Italian. So I mean, that could be, and this is hyper. I mean, this is the core of the business, is to put how the most people on a small little space and optimizing their revenue. I mean, this is because people are captive. They're captive when on the high seas, right? So that could be another lucrative market, because you're looking at just the US. I understand you didn't bother looking at other things, right? I mean, you can put this as a milestone for later to say, by the way, we're going to dominate the US, right? And we're going to make so much money. And by the way, we're going to go to the next one, right? And you can throw out the shipping business, the ship business, the cruise business, and other businesses like Europe or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense.
And again, I don't want to criticize, but maybe a little light on how do you acquire a customer? Like, what do you have to call on them and knock on their door and give them a presentation? Do they find this themselves? What is the sales cycle? Total lifetime value? What's your profit margin? Even if it's not in the slides, you might be prepared for investors, at least in the US, to start digging deeper into those questions. Like, because it feels like maybe there's a small and medium-sized enterprise that you're going after. You're not you say, oh, I only have to land the 5 top real estate development companies, and it's a reference sale. They all follow each other. So once I get one, then I get them all. So statements like that could be helpful just to satisfy my curiosity there.
Maybe Jim, is because of can you put out the slide of the 3 people that you are? I want to see in the profile if there is anybody who stands out to address this issue. Can you put the team slide up?
That's up. Yeah,
there you go. So architecture, mathematics, and architecture. Where is the business person?
We don't have yet.
So that addresses what Jim is saying, okay? And it's also permeated from what we asked you, the question where you didn't have answer and all that stuff. I don't have a contact here and there. So you guys are just stellar. Where you come from, what you do, you're so complimentary. It's a phenomenal team, and you're up for big things. The one ingredient that you lack is, an equally good person in business, somebody you trust, because you don't want to have somebody, a crook, right?
Right, right.
That's gonna take all your business and big ego, whatever,
Right,
watch
right.
out for big ego, huh? But you
Right.
want to have a very smart person out there that get your sales and business strategy all lined up, access to market and all that stuff. I mean, if I were a VC to invest, I'd say, okay, I'm going to introduce you to a few people I know have been successful in business to build businesses, and I hope you're going to like him or her. That's what I would do. So that's a little bit of a weakness here.
Got it. Totally.
It's incredible. I mean, you're going to be having fun there. So when are you coming to establish business in California, since you're incorporated now?
So we're like I said, we're targeting to launch our products, release official version or by early next year. Then until then, I need to focus on the software development with my team here in Korea. So by the time probably early next year starting, I would be probably start living in the West Coast. Yeah.
Okay, very good, excellent. So be careful at this business person you recruit, okay? Because
Got
that can be I mean, you need one, but it's so tricky to have one because sometimes it's not the right fit with the culture.
Right.
It's too much ego,
Right.
no loyalty, etc. You
Got it.
even have to maybe make some room for equity in this stuff if you want to keep a person. So that's going to be a big step up here. But boy, you got something really hot here.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you, Jim. And thank you, Thierry and Patrick.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very,
All
very
right.
powerful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
impressed. Thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. Do I understand, Julie, that's we have one more person, or we're done?
No, we're done.
Oh, okay. So
I just
we'll
need
let
to figure out how to stop the recording. Oh, here it is.
okay. So